Grow your business your way with up to 1.5 million rand in funding from Vodalend. Future Fit in association with Vodalend. There are many options to get business funding, but it's not always easy meeting the requirements to get that money, especially for new entrepreneurs. And in a desperate attempt to get things started, loan sharks suddenly seem attractive, but that's pretty risky. A study commissioned by Wonga shows there are around 40,000 mashonisas in South Africa, making them easily accessible to vulnerable people who want to launch small businesses. In this episode, we find out how to vet your financiers and look into the dangers of mashonisas. Ricardo, thanks so much for speaking to us. Let's start with the basics on how these mashonisas actually operate.
Shahan, the machinistas are essentially neighborhood money lenders. They are, by all counts, privately run businesses that provide quick and easy loans to consumers. When we're talking about quick and easy loans, we're talking about loans that are below about 8,000 Rand and generally repayable over a period less than 6 months. Because of the value of the loan, Shahan, and the volume of the loans that they're providing, and they privately run businesses, they generally fall out of the regulatory net. But I think what's important, though, is the way they operate on that convenience principle lends itself to the exorbitant interest rates and the unsavory tactics that they apply in how lending is done.
So that's the problem, right? It's unregulated, which means that they lend money and then they can do as they please to get that money back, which is not fair to the consumer.
Correct. Debt can be good. Bridging a gap in terms of cash flow is very useful, and there are times in one's life when you need that. But it's understanding the terms of that business. And that's essentially, I think, where one needs to start, is that if you're doing business on a contractual basis, it's unregulated, understand what are those terms. Understand how much do I have to pay you back and when. What happens if I can't pay you? Are there other charges? Do you take security? Do I get this in writing? And those really form the crux of a contractual arrangement in this kind of space. And if you don't get those terms clear up front, automatically you're putting yourself in a position of disadvantage where you could be taken advantage of by a loan shark.
All right, Ricardo, let's talk about the interest when it comes to loan sharks.
So generally, Shahan, the term of these loans are less than 6 months, but on average, they're between 1 week and 30 days in terms of repayment. And the way the interest is generally worked on is on a Rand value. And so they're disguising the interest percentage. And so typically a 200 Rand loan would be repaid in 30 days at the rate of 250 Rand. So there's a 50 Rand interest. Seems pretty fair. But when you translate that into interest, that's a 300% per annum interest rate. It's unfathomable. I mean, 3 times the capital would be repaid if that loan rolled over every month for 12 months. As opposed to in a regulated environment, under the National Credit Act, a loan of that value of 200 Rand would attract a maximum interest of possibly 10 Rand a month.
So how do you actually vet your financiers? Is that easy? Because to me, it doesn't seem like it's an easy process.
So the starting point, Shahan, in terms of vetting financiers is work with someone that you can trust. Are they regulated? Who are they? How did you come across them? And so the vetting process is really one of not believing that easy is trust. It's going through something that's regulated. And in South Africa, fortunately, we have the National Credit Act, and that allows us to go and vet who are we doing business with. So that would be a starting point. Secondly, as a starting point, is to look at taking advice. Take advice from someone that you can trust around money and your business.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your time and your insight. Appreciate it. Apply for up to 1.5 million Rand in business funding from Vodalend today. Future Fit, helping you grow your business with Vodalend.